You round out your album on track 10 with a song entitled World, and it is very much a third act. It is very much a ending to a story that you've been telling for 9 tracks. And we talked very early on in this interview about how you're 10 years removed from when who you were and where you were when Prince Nightmare came out, and now you're in a long-term relationship. And this song feels very much like you're talking to people who know what it's like to have had their hearts broken or to have broken hearts, and now are in a place where they're looking out for number one first, and they want to make sure that I'm good so that I can be good for my partner. And that's just kind of what I was getting. I don't want to project too much, but I think it's a beautiful, beautiful end to this story that you're telling. So talk to us about World.
Well, throughout the process of having artists that I really gravitated to and researching the meanings of their songs, I would always come across the same sentiment from the artist. When they're pushed on what does your song mean, they really want it to be open to interpretation, because everyone's going to have a different takeaway from a song, and that's kind of part of the point of music, is to let it be what it needs to be for different people. So that's true about all of these songs, first of all. But specifically for World, I was kind of circling back to a thread throughout the song Alien, where it talked about us coming together and embracing our differences, embracing each other, for better or worse, being okay with not seeing eye to eye on a bunch of things and still coming together anyway. And maybe it's like the only way we can survive, even as a species.
Stay if you wanna stay. I will be there for you. You can't keep me away. What all have we learned? What have we forgotten?
We zoomed out to the cosmic level. Now we're zooming out on a timeline.
Yeah.
So looking, instead of space, now it's time that we're zooming out on. And we're saying that, have we learned from history? Have we? And maybe there's things we should be learning more from history that we're not learning. And we keep repeating things. And it's kind of a frustration with that, but also a call to re-examine that.
Yeah, I mean, even the lyrics in World, there's a little bit of a back and forth where it's like, I don't want you to leave, but if you need to leave, I'll be okay. Or, if you stay, I want to be here for you. So there's just, circling back to this theme that comes up for me as a listener of confidence, of just like, I want this love, I want to be in this love, but it's not going to make or break me. And it's just a beautiful, hopeful place that I think everyone wants to arrive at, and I think you've conveyed that really well. And I was just wondering if with World in particular, if that song was born out of arriving at that point personally, or if it's something that you just want to convey, again, like aspirationally, to your listeners and audience.
Every relationship has its timeline. Some last for your whole life. Some people come in and out. And there is always like an unfinished element when someone you care about does have to leave or disappear or chooses to, and it's not clear, why it happened that way, or why you felt you had to leave, or so it's kind of just touching on that, because we've talked about every other stage of relationships. So this talks about an end to a relationship in a small way, but I don't think the whole song's about that. But it definitely does go there for a minute. And like you said, say that sometimes it's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I feel like the Prince Nightmare CHAD would have been like, this is the end of the world that you're leaving me. And now the new CHAD SIWIK is saying, things end naturally sometimes.